Alrighty, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a long one, so strap in and get ready to listen to me talk quite a lot. There'll be some pauses, some breaks, some cuts in this. There won't be much going on in the background, so this is probably a good video to listen in the background if you don't have much going on or you're busy. This is going to be like a podcast-y type video. We're on Tier Maker, and we're going to rank all the games that I've played in 2023 on my main channel, on my second channel, on the gameplay channel, on the shorts. Everything that's been on the channel is on this list. Not all the games I've played this year, because I've played way more than this. And I'm going to rank them based on my opinion, not based on the story, not based on the gameplay, not based on anything. Based on how much I enjoyed playing them, how many times I've played them, all that kind of stuff. So there's nothing like, oh, I'm going to rank this game above this game because it's better. That's my opinion, not gameplay wise, because I think there's going to be some games on here that will probably trigger some people, and if you get triggered by that, you need to grow up. So, with that being said, I would just like to point out one thing quick. Like I said, so I've gone down my list of videos that I've uploaded for the last year, and I think I've got them all. I think. And yeah, like I said, across all of these channels, not these ones, this is Jack, and this is our bike channel that we don't use, really, but yeah. And one other thing I'd like to do, because I haven't really said it much in the video yet, but we have 1 million total channel views on my main channel, which is just, it's ridiculous. We've got 1.76 thousand subscribers. I think it's 1,763 as of this recording, so thank you guys so much for that. It really does. You know, this is a hobby for me. You know, I still work a normal job. This isn't anything particularly, you know, I don't really gain much from this other than enjoyment, and that's fine. That's what I want. I don't want anything like that. So, you know, we've been on over 15 for over 2 years. I've linked my channel, my Instagram, stuff like that. So like I said, 1.7 thousand subscribers, 3,053 videos, and again, that's just on my main channel. So I've started using my Another Acid YouTube channel a lot more, just playing, you know, random games and uploading old gameplays and stuff like Mario Strikers, and obviously Vanguard Zombies, and we're just doing some different bits and pieces on here. That's got 294,000, and then my gameplay channel, which is raw gameplay. I don't really spend much time on it. The same with the shorts, to be fair. This is just purely for shorts. A lot of like the old shorts and stuff like that, or shorts that get demonetized on my main channel, I put on the shorts channel because I don't gain anything from it, like money-wise. What am I looking for? I said gameplays. How many views do we have on here? 86,000. So what's that, like about 1,350,000, which is, you know, that is wild. And like I said, I play a variety of games on the gameplay channel. It's a lot of raids and montages, and if I'm just playing games or if I'm playing highlights, but I'm feeling a bit rough or I don't really want to commentate, it goes on this channel. I was playing Starfield when it came out. Dead Space I did again, and you know, like I said, a lot of raid and stuff like that, because raid I can play in the background on my phone and stuff. So yeah, that's rank these games, and like I said, based on opinion, and I think we've got like 71 here, which is, like I said, this is going to be a long one, and this is all of them. This is PC, Xbox, PlayStation, mobile, anything that's gone on the channel, apart from one, which I can't change now, which is R6 Mobile. But yeah, I didn't really rank that. So I've got 5 categories here. God tier. This is just the games that I've really enjoyed, the games I've played a lot, the games I would probably play again, or will play again, definitely. I've got awesome, alright games, meh, never playing again. And there's a few that I'll never play again, because they're shit. So, first, Halo Wars 2. I did enjoy Halo Wars 2. I put that in alright. Interruptions. Right, yeah, Halo Wars 2. An RTS-y kind of game. I do like RTS games, and I really enjoyed Halo Wars 2, but they're not my favourite kind of games. You know, they're just all right for me. I enjoyed it. I would play it again, but not anytime soon. You know, maybe in a couple months' time, or maybe next year. Well, so you know what? I kind of want to play some Halo Wars 2. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. The story was alright. The game was alright. It was just more Halo Wars, which is fine. I actually quite enjoy I do quite enjoy the style. They're not my favourite games. Chivalry 2, I'm going to put in alright for now because I don't have that much experience with it. It is really fun, but I can't play it when people are in the house because I get into I get into character, and yeah, I can get very loud with that because it's one of those kind of games. But it is a really good game. Not really much more I can say about that one, to be honest. I did enjoy it, but like I said, I need to chill out with that. But I will be playing it a bit more. Dead Island 2 was awesome. I played that 3 times this year. I did it on my main channel, did it on my gameplay channel, and then I did a playthrough with Caitlin. Really, really good game. I really enjoyed it. The story was a bit meh, but the gameplay was, it was great. I didn't like the end game kind of stuff. Once you've kind of done the quest, there was no New Game Plus, or I would like to go out and farm legendaries where you should only kind of get them from the quest, and it was kind of like in Dead Island, 1 and the originals, Riptide. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out and farm legendaries and farm chests and work on these super awesome builds, and you can't really do that. And the build system is a bit meh, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I do want to play it again. So, Gears of War Judgment. Gears of War Judgment's alright. I've played it twice this year on my main channel, on my second channel. I enjoy Gears of War. I really do. Gears of War is one of my favourite franchises, and I'll play it as many times as I need to. I'll probably play it again next year. I just think Judgment, out of all of them, it is just alright. It's not the best. It's a big missed opportunity, in my opinion. And that's kind of all I've got to say about that. Cyberpunk, it's got to. It's one of my favourite games of all time. It's such a good game. You can get into the nitty-gritties, blah, 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 blah. Admittedly, this is the Phantom Liberty DLC, but again, I think it's got to. I think Phantom Liberty, the story, was really, really cool. It's just more cyberpunk. You get stabbed in the back and fucked over all the time. So, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's kind of all I've really got to say about it at the moment. I'm currently working on the other ending now, because I think there's about 4 endings, but I've kind of gone good, bad, and then I'm going to leave it at that. I have started playing it again for my gameplay channel. I do want to do another playthrough where I really enjoy the side quest, especially now that they've updated the game and added a load of these gigs and quests and these unique weapons and stuff like that, and I think it's going to be awesome. But it's a game that I would like to be in my own house before I start playing, because I have more time to do it. Super Mario Strikers. It's alright, it's fun. I got my ass kicked by bots. That was a recent one on my my second channel. If you haven't seen it yet, I was quite happy with how the thumbnail came out, to be fair. I really enjoyed that. Where is it? Yeah, it's that one. Obviously Yoshi. You've got to play Yoshi. But yeah, I got absolutely battered by normal and easy bots. But yeah, it is what it is. I need to get used to the Switch controller, because I'm not the best with that kind of thing, I'll be honest. But yeah, it was alright. I haven't really played it enough to give it more than an alright at the moment, just because I've made 1 video on it and I've played 4 games. So that is what it is. Nintendo Switch Sports is awesome. I love that. It's one of the best purchases I made. We played that a lot at the start of the year when we got it. We went to Manchester for the weekend. I took my Switch with me and we played this on the telly. It was such a good game. So good. And that's all on the second channel. So yeah, definitely a really good party game if you have mates over or family over and you want to play something. It's like the Wii. It's amazing. Pokemon Violet. I'm going to put it in meh. Pokemon, for me, not my kind of game. It's really not. I wanted to play it with Caitlin, but there isn't really much you can do in co-op. And I would consider the end game to be pretty boring. I had a few Pokemon that I had maxed out and built, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I might make a video on my thoughts on Pokemon because I think I would really enjoy this if they did a few things to it that would make it just amazing. But at the moment, it's like, if you want to do the 5-star raids, you need to have the exact Pokemon for it. You're playing with 3 random people. If they don't have the right Pokemon, it's basically a washout straight away. And then you've just wasted your time. And it's like, yeah, well, I can go and play something else, I think. But it was alright-ish. I don't see myself playing it again anytime soon. Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is awesome. I really enjoyed Halo Infinite, and that's the campaign. I'm not considered the multiplayer, although I have put some multiplayer games in here. I should have really put 2 and 2. But overall, I think it's alright. Awesome, sorry. The campaign was a bit meh. In terms of story, but in gameplay and playing it and visuals and audio and the music, it's just, it's Halo. It's fantastic. Halo, again, one of my top 5 favourite franchises of all time. I don't really know what they're doing with it. I kind of want them to do a bit more. I want them to do a little bit more that's not Master Chief, if you know what I'm saying. Like, we're going to get into them in a bit, but yeah. I love the games that don't have Master Chief in them. Not because I dislike Master Chief, but, I've played 7 games with Master Chief now. Or is it 5? Ahead of 5, and Infinite, so 6. Master Chief's an awesome character, but I really liked ODST, I really like Reach, and I would like to play maybe some games where you play as other characters, other Spartans, There's more than one Spartan in the universe. Let me play as them. Command & Conquer. Alright. Same thing as Halo was, like an RTS, commandy kind of game. And yeah, they're just alright for me. They're not anything amazing. I'm playing that with Caitlin. We did the Allied campaign, so we've got other ones to do. She really enjoys those kind of games. So she would probably really like Halo Wars. But yeah, for me, they don't really hit the spot like FPSs or like third-person shooters or any of that kind of stuff. The RTSs don't really hit that button for me. But it's good. It looks cool. It's fun. It's a bit out there, especially with the characters. But I enjoy it. Aliens Fireteam, never playing again. Really wanted to get into it. Wanted to do a full playthrough on my second channel, and I couldn't get into it. I really wanted to. I tried, couldn't do it. So, it is what it is. Sometimes you can't. I have done it before. I've started playing, and I couldn't do it. I tried it with Stalker. I really thought Stalker would have hit all the buttons for me, but I couldn't do it. Maybe I need to play some of the newer ones, but obviously I want to play them in order. And yeah, Aliens Fireteam just didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the bots or the third-person-ish nature of it, because I don't mind Aliens as a franchise. But Fireteam's Elite just didn't hit the button for me. Didn't. Back 4 Blood is alright. I think Back 4 Blood got a lot of hate. And it's similar to another game I'm going to talk about in a little bit, because people said, it's Left 4 Dead. Oh, we love Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead's amazing. Wow, we're going to play this. It's going to be great. And then they get it, and it's not Left 4 Dead. And then they get upset. And they go, it's not Left 4 Dead. Oh, well, it's shit then. I don't want to play it. Yes, the card system and the skill tiers of cards and stuff, that was awful. I will agree with you. But the guns feel awesome. The attachments, the economy in the game with the copper, and the actual gameplay itself isn't that bad. If your mindset is it's gonna play like this game, you're gonna have a really bad time when a game comes out, And like I said, I'm gonna talk about another game later that is I might annoy some people where I put it, and you know what? Good. But yeah, you have to play games for what they are, not what you think they should be, because otherwise you're never going to find that game that you want to play. And that is all I'm going to say about that. And I'm trying to just see. I think I've missed a game. Or maybe not. No, I have. I've missed a game. Oh well. Borderlands 3 is God tier. It's God tier. I love Borderlands 3. I've got so many hours in it, and I'm not even close to being anywhere near finished with it. So, I think that says all it needs to say about that game. Yes, the story was a bit meh. The bad guys were a bit shit, but the gameplay, the loop, the farming, the builds, the weaponry, it's just amazing. I think Borderlands has always got a problem where it's got so many guns in, it's going to be impossible to balance them all. And I know they did a pretty decent job bringing some of the weapons up, but I think they could have done a little bit more with some of the weaponry, because there's a lot of legendaries in Borderlands 3 that just aren't worth using. To the point where I'm tempted to make some level 72 characters and just stay on 72. Just to see if it's, a different gameplay experience. There's one thing I do miss about Borderlands 2, which I haven't played this year. One of my most played games of all time. I love Borderlands 2, but the end game's atrocious, right? If you consider weapons and builds and stuff, you have to build a certain way. You have to use certain things. Like, I always remember Krieg. I got him to max, and he was just such a boring character to play. It's just not fun. Whereas Borderlands 3, all 4 of the characters are just good everywhere. You can use them anywhere you want. Obviously, some are better than others. Zane is really, really strong. Mose is really, really strong. Flak can be really, really strong with the right stuff, and Mara can be really, really strong with the right stuff. So it's really good, and I'm super happy with what they've done with the game, especially considering I played it when it came out. And things like dedicated drops and raid bosses weren't in the game, and the bosses were one-time farms, and it was just like, do you not know what game you're playing or making? But they fixed it, and it's amazing, and I'm going to play through it probably 3 or 4 more times in the next year, just because it's such a good game. Black Ops 3 is awesome. It's not amazing. It's not God tier. It's awesome. I've done zombies on Black Ops 3, and that's that. That's all I've done. And I'm basing this purely on zombies because, like I said, multiplayer I wouldn't even attempt to try nowadays. And the campaign, I'm playing through the Call of Duty series next year, so I can't rank that on that yet. I will do a campaign tier list when I've beaten them. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that, just because, I think if you're a fan of this channel over the length of time I've been going, you'll know my feelings on the zombies and stuff like that. The original Borderlands is awesome. Really good. Really janky. Really old school. And, it's really cool when you consider what it's come from, for what it was and for what it is now. You can still see the same game, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's just awesome. I think if they went back and remastered it and used this new engine that they've got with the new graphics and the feel of Borderlands 3 in the original Borderlands kind of skin, I think that would be incredible. I'd love that. They didn't need to really, because I think the graphics on Borderlands still hold pretty well today, especially with the remaster. But if they went back and really truly remade it, like I'm talking Dead Space remake Borderlands, and made it as good as this, and balanced all the characters, because it's Lilith or what are you doing, really? And yes, you can play the other ones, yes it works, but it was Lilith or nothing really, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I think that could be a really, really good game, but I think some more raid bosses would do that game some good. World at War. Why do I want to put World at War? I don't think World at War's got tier. World at War is awesome. Doing a lot of custom modded zombies. And I do like the campaign a lot. And I'm really looking forward to playing the campaign again. I'd never played the multiplayer back in the day, really. I think I played a few games. But when I got into COD, like multiplayer COD, Modern Warfare was out, and I was just playing that instead. But yeah, the zombies is incredible, and the modded zombies is cool. I think it definitely feels old. And you know, that's kind of all I'm going to say about that, really. Looking forward to playing the campaign. Can't wait. Daisy. I don't really know where I'm going to put. I'm going to put you in meh just because I've had some fun playing you. Something about the janky, clunky shit engine that Daisy runs in, especially on consoles. You know, I haven't played this on PC. I mean, yes, it can be smooth, but it's so buggy and so glitchy, and it's not fun to play. And there's no private servers. I would like to spawn in my own world, build my own base, fend off bots and zombies and stuff like that. I would love that. They should add private, but you don't. If you want a private server, you've got to pay for it. If you're going to pay for it, you can invite others in. You can't have bots, and then you're playing on your own, and it's really boring. So if they had a PvE mode, I would love that. But as of now, paid private servers can go and suck my nuts. Why would I pay for a server? I'm paying for the privilege of the time that I want to play your game. If I want to play your game, I've already paid for it. Get fucked. So, you know what? For that reason, I'm sticking it, and I'm never playing it again. I'm never playing it again. Until then, like I said, until PvE modes or private servers that you don't have to pay for, I'm playing it again. That's all I'm going to say on that. GTA 5, I don't know, meh for me. It's another one of those ones I played on the second channel and I couldn't finish it just because I've played it that many times. It's just kind of like been there, done that, and it's great. It's a great game when it came out 10 years ago, you know. But like similar to Skyrim, you've had years and years to make a new one, but you still want to add shitty rocket bikes and stuff into it that's just not fun to play against. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that before I trigger some people. MotoGP 22, it's alright. I like my racing games, and that's all I'm going to say on that, just because there's not really much you can say about it, to be honest. I have played MotoGP 23, but that's not on here. I don't know why I haven't put that on here. Yeah, it's a cool racing game. It's MotoGP. I'm kind of losing my love for MotoGP, to be honest with you. It's getting very, very samey and very, very boring. But, yeah, that is what it is. I'll leave that one there. Insurgency, that was alright. I need to put more time into Insurgency because it was kind of like I think I made 2 videos on it. And I haven't touched it again since. And I should, because it's really, really cool. And it looks awesome and it feels pretty good. I think I did get my arse kicked, but you know, it is what it is. Cold War is awesome. I enjoyed the campaign. I did like the multiplayer, and I did love the zombies. So, if I was basing it purely on zombies, I'd put Cold War in God tier. Because I love, I love zombies. I'm a big zombies guy. But I did enjoy the campaign. It was too short though, and the multiplayer was quite good until skill base kicked in, and then you got your ass pounded into the ground. But yeah, I liked it. Dead Space 3, another awesome game. Not as good as the other 2, nowhere near as good as the other 2. But again, like I was saying before, if you compare it to other games, you're never going to have fun. And I like the aspect of co-op, even though me and Caitlin played it a few months ago, and I messed the recording up, and she doesn't want to play it. So I've not been able to play it co-op yet. But I love Dead Space. If they just kept making games like Dead Space 2 and 3 and the original, I would just play them again and again and again. I am really looking forward to the Dead Space 2 remakes, if they decide to do it, because I mean, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but as a series, big fan. Right, make a cup quick. I'm going to open this. I need a drink. What are we talking about? We're talking about Dead Space. Yeah, co-op. Really like the co-op. I liked the game. The story was a bit meh. And I think, a bit similar to another game I might talk about in a bit. If the co-op partner was a bot, like an AI companion, that followed you around, it would be a lot better, because then the story would make sense. Because if you watch, I mean, if you know, you know, but the story's different if you play co-op, if you play single player. And if you're playing single player, you have no idea what the co-op guy's doing. So when I played single player, he would just kind of show up, and then these two would act like best friends. What the fuck's going on? I barely know him, because I'm not playing co-op. So you do kind of get punished if you're playing single player, but it is what it is. People have said what they've got to say, but I enjoyed Dead Space for what it was. The Dead Space remake, however, is god tier. I fucking loved this remake. This was the first Dead Space I played. I'm still not played the original one yet. I want to. I need to get back to it. But it's just everything about the remake is fantastic. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. The replayability is amazing. New Game Plus is one of the best things you can add to a game. All of the weapons feel pretty good, even though I've not really made builds around them yet. I haven't maxed them out. But it just sounds amazing, and you can hear Isaac's heartbeat going, and it's amazing. So if Dead Space 2 comes out anything like this one did, it's going to be a filthy game. And I am here for it. Let's do it. I've replayed this game 3 times. And I'm doing a 4th playthrough, and I'm doing the Plasma Cutter only run. So I might try and get a Platinum Trophy for it. We'll see. I haven't done any Dead Space Platinum yet, and I want to go back onto my PS3 and replay some of the older ones for the trophies. There's a lot of things I want to do with my PS3 that I just haven't got around to yet. So that's that. The pre-sequel, awesome, really good game. I think the pre-sequel suffered from lack of commitment from whoever made it at the time. I think it was the Australian Gearbox team, because there's a lot of Aussie voice actors. I loved it. It's amazing. I think the pre-sequel is everything Borderlands 2 should have been, with no endgame. The pre-sequel endgame's atrocious. I think there's one invincible. You can farm the endgame boss, and there's the endgame boss from the Claptrap DLC. And that's it. There's one DLC. Not counting the characters. And then obviously you had characters like Handsome Jack, the Doppelganger, which was one of my favourite characters in any Borderlands game ever. I think he's built and he plays and he's designed so well. It's amazing. And they were all pretty decent, other than Aurelia. I'd say she's a bit meh, and Claptrap's annoying. But for the most part, Wilhelm, I love Wilhelm a lot. I love his build. I love how he's all laser focused with his robots. That's incredible. And when you build him a certain way, your character in game starts changing, which I really like. That's so cool. And like I said, Handsome Jack, one of my favourite characters ever. So I like the pre-sequel a lot. I just think, like I said, it was let down by the end game. Minecraft is alright. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Minecraft. Me and Caitlin played it because we wanted a farming game that we could just chill and play in the background. It's the only reason we played it. And Minecraft's a game you can come back to in whenever you want, and there'll always be something to do, something to farm, something to go and mine, something to chop down. There's always something to do. And that is a good or a bad thing, depending on what you like in your game. So I think Minecraft's a cool chill game, but that's what I'm going to say about that. Enlisted, it's not god tier. It is awesome. I love Enlisted so much. It's such a good game. It's janky as all things. It's so fucking janky. but it's really cool. You know, I like it, how it's free to play. I like how it doesn't force you to spend money, which similar to Warframe. Wherever my Warframe is on this list, it's here somewhere. There it is. Yes, you can pay. Yes, they're free to play games. They need to make their money somehow. Yes, you can spend money in Enlisted. You know, the Battle Pass. They have a lot of you can just straight up skip like campaign tiers, which, you know, I don't mind. I really don't. And, you know, if you run out of things like med packs, you can just buy some with coins. Not a problem. I don't have any problem with that. I am fully aware that, you know, companies that make games that are free to play need to make the money back. I understand it. I get it. And if it's done the way Enlisted and Warframe do it, then yes, I can get behind it. But there's another game I'm going to talk about in a little bit where they'll add new things into the game. They'll just straight up make them better than anything you've got. So you're kind of forced down the road of where you're either going to have a bad time or pay money. And if you do that, I'll stop playing your game. So I think Enlisted is really cool. I like the World War setting. I like the characters. I've only ever played the Normandy campaign. I haven't played the other ones yet. But yeah, it's a really good game. If you haven't played it yet and you're on next gen consoles, I think it's on PC. Download it and give it a try. It's free. You'll either love it or you hate it. If you don't like it, you haven't paid money. You know, it's not like you've spent money and you go, oh, didn't like that, but now I've lost my money. It's free, so if you don't like it, you can say, that's not for me. Uninstall, done with it. You haven't lost a penny. Fallout 3. I like Fallout 3, but I don't think it's got to. I think it's awesome, and that's where I'm going to put that. You know, it's gonna trigger some Fallout fans, but I'm not the hardcore Fallout 3 fan. I think New Vegas is a better game. I'm doing a modded playthrough at the moment. I'm nowhere near the end. I haven't played it for a little while. I started Fallout 3 as a game I'll just get, you know, chop at it away. Similar to Skyrim. I haven't played Skyrim for a few months. But it's a game I can play in the background whenever I want, you know. Oh, I'm feeling a bit Fallout-y today. I want to do that. I want to play New Vegas. I want to do a full modded Fallout 4 playthrough along with Vegas, along with 3. The problem I've had with 3, it's the first time I've ever modded a game. You know, I'm relatively new to the modding scene on PC because I'm not a PC gamer really. Not like a hardcore. You know, I own all the consoles. I'm a console gamer more than a PC gamer. So I'm learning how to mod, and I've tried modding Fallout 3, and it's gone terribly wrong. my sky is pitch black. So, you know, some trial and error involved in there. There are obviously people out there that are way better than I am at modding, and probably, well, I've seen it. They can make it ridiculous, and the fact that people are still modding it says all you need to say about the game as a whole. But yeah, I don't know, similar to a few games I'll talk about in a bit, I think Fallout 3 was one of those games I beat. I did all the DLC, and I kind of was like, oh, I'm done with that now. You know, I don't really think I could get into it as much as some of the other games that I've played. But it's a cool game. I'm enjoying it. You know, I will finish it. But yeah, it is an awesome game. Far Cry 5, I think, is an awesome game too. Now, story-wise and villain-wise, no. I mean, I've said it from the beginning. I don't even think that Voss was a particularly fantastic villain. You know, I still think one of the best villains in any video game ever is Handsome Jack. But yeah, I mean, New Dawn. We'll talk about both of these. I think New Dawn's awesome too, but the villains in Far Cry 5 and New Dawn were abysmal. Like, how this priesty guy somehow has a whole county in his back pocket, and he's got choppers and heavy guns, and he can overwhelm the police. Like, I mean, I know it probably wouldn't make any sense from a gameplay standpoint, but if he were that extreme, you'd send the army in. You wouldn't send 3 policemen in to arrest him, and then it all goes tits up. And this guy's got plot armor way higher than anyone I've ever met. Like, he's got Nathan Drake levels of plot armor. Survives everything. Plane crash, oh, he's completely fine. Arrested, oh, he'll break out. Nukes, oh, I survived that. You know, it's just fucking stupid. But the actual gameplay and the progression and the map editor, you can make your own little maps. And the DLCs were alright. They weren't fantastic, but they were okay. Apart from that alien one, that one could fuck right off. I haven't put the DLCs in here because I completely forgot about them, I'll be honest with you. But I played that. and then I did a playthrough with Caitlin. Caitlin really enjoyed that, and I don't think she's managed to get herself into New Dawn as much as 5. New Dawn, however, I really think is a bit underrated, but I can understand why it's not rated higher, because the story and the villains suck ass. But I like the map, I like the visuals, I like the look, I like the guns are all kind of makeshifty because you're in this kind of post-apocalyptic place, so you're not going to have access to new things. You know, I get it. And I really like the way the map looks. It looks so good. But yeah, the twin bosses are just awful. Just terrible. And like I said, same with that. You know, I like how in Far Cry 5 you're kind of breaking the family down one by one by one, but this is just, yeah, it's not for me. But it's fun to play. Again, if you take story out, it's a really fun game to play. Most of Far Cry's are, to be fair. Fear, the original Fear. I'm going to put it down to alright because of the time, based on guns, graphics, visuals, and gameplay. Story, I mean, I've said it before, I've just very recently beaten Fear 3, and the story in that was atrocious. Same with Fear, you know, the story is like, it's all over the place, it doesn't make any sense, it's not fun. And then it tries to go for a horror-y kind of approach, which it doesn't work because I'm not scared, I'm not intimidated, I'm not worried. It's just boring. But the AI and the combat is quite fun. Now again, obviously, you know, it's a game that, I mean, when did the original Fear come out? Fear 1 release date 2005. So I would have been 6 years old when this game came out. Yeah, I'd have been 6. So for the time, yes, when it came out, probably amazing. And you know what? There are a lot of things in it. Like if you shoot the wall, you can see the smoke coming off the wall. And if you shoot like a printer, paper flies out of it. And you know, stuff like that. And the AI talking to themselves when you're trying to fight. You know, oh, flank him. Oh, I'm hit. Go this way. Blah, blah, blah. They actually communicate. I don't know if they're actually doing what they say they are, but it's quite immersive when you're playing it that way. And it's the same problem all the Fears have. You know what? I'm just going to do this now. I'm just going to rank them all. The combat in all the Fear games is great, right? And the AI and the enemies is really fun. I think Fear 2 and 3 are... they're not great. They certainly go downhill. Fear 2 kind of laid off a little bit of the horror and tried just going full action, which I like. I appreciate that. Same with Dead Space. You know, Dead Space 1 was the horror one, and then they went to Dead Space 3 and 2, and it kind of went a bit more actiony. Yes, that's how it should be, because if you've played Dead Space 1 and then you go into Dead Space 2 and they try and be all horror-y and scary, you've already used to it, so it's not going to have the same effect. So Fear 2 did what Dead Space 2 did, and it went a bit more action-packed, which is fine, you know. I don't mind it. I prefer it over the horror stuff. But for me, it doesn't do it. And then Fear 3 adds in these weird, possessed zombie characters. And then the final mission, you're shooting a big, giant ghost of a man. And it's just like... yeah, the story in Fear, it's not good. But the gameplay is. And, you know, Fear 3, I think, plays, and the combat, plays really well. And I think... oh, just smacked the monitor. I think Fear 3, in terms of purely gunplay, combat, and AI, plays better than these two. Tell me I'm awful when I'm shit. You do whatever you want. But yeah, story and campaign and stuff, it's just not it, chief. But they're alright games. They're worth playing at least once to say you've done them. And I still have the Fear 2 DLC to play, which apparently is pretty decent. So that should be good. Gears 4, God tier. I really, really like Gears 4. I like how it's obviously a different developer that have taken over. It's a Coalition who took over from, is it Epic? Or was it Gearbox? I think it was Epic. I can't remember. But yeah, basically they took over, and you know, the Gears of War 3 ending was kind of like, well, that's where the game's, you know, it's finished. Trilogy's over. We're done with it. And the way they add the Locust or the Swarm back into the story, I really, really like. I really like that. And Gears of War 4 graphically looks amazing. It's just a stunning looking game. And I do like some of the characters they had. Like I do like Kate in Gears 4. I like JD in Gears 4. Not a big fan of Dell, and obviously everyone loves Marcus. But the story's okay. It's nothing special, and I think that's where Gears of War 4 and 5, which we'll talk about in a minute, kind of let it down. But in terms of gameplay and characters and guns and story and visuals and graphics, Gears 4 looks amazing. It's in some areas I think Gears 4 looks better than Gears 5. I'll stand by it. And yeah, I will definitely play Gears 4 a load more times before I'm gone, for sure. Gears 5 Hive Busters was awesome. I really enjoyed Hive Busters. It was a little short DLC. I think it was probably about 3 hours worth of stuff, which, if you pay a £10 expansion pack and it's 3 hours, I think you probably got your money's worth there. When you consider that AAA £70 games nowadays, the new COD's 4 hours? Fucking awful game. So, yeah, I like it. I like the new characters. Other than there's Keegan, Lani, and Mac, and adds Hoffman back in, and then you've got Cole's daughter, and it's just kind of like all of these characters going together, and then a pilot guy, I can't remember his name, Ty or Jai or something like that. Some of them are forgettable. Hoffman might as well not be there because he's kind of like is what it is, and the pilot is only there to be a pilot. But I like Lani a lot. I like Keegan a lot. I'm not a big fan of Mac, to be honest with you. But the story's quite cool, and I think they could have done more with it. I would have liked to have seen like Hive Busters 2 and 3 and 4. Because you go into this old abandoned COG base, and it's been overtaken by the swarm, and you have to get a bomb down to the bottom and then run. And I know they added a game mode, which I'm still haven't played yet, called, is it Escape or something like that? Really cool, but, pretty short, and I'd like a bit more. Gears 5 was awesome. It was a bit different, and, it looks incredible. It's Gears of War, I don't know what it is. It looks amazing, and, I like some of the new enemies they've added in. I like some of the new guns they added in. I don't like what they did with Kate's character. I fucking hate what they did with JD's character. They've royally ruined JD as a character. Yeah, it's just absolutely no sense what they've done to him at all. But the story, they made Kate the main character, and then you kind of go off and you see some of the backstory, and I like that. You go off into the mountains to some of these old facilities, and it kind of adds a mini open world. I put in quotation marks because it's not really open world in a sense. You can go off and do what you want, but there's only so far you can go. But the Horde mode was fantastic. That's what I love the most, and I would love to be able to stream the Horde mode because I think I've played Horde mode the most. I downloaded Gears of War on my ROG Ally, and I played that a lot in bed. And yeah, I've not played the multiplayer. That's the one thing in Gears of War I just won't do because it doesn't interest me in the slightest. Right, here's a pick that's going to annoy some people. Rainbow Six Siege, I'm putting in God tier. I have ridiculous hours in Siege. I'm talking like 4,000 or 5,000 hours in Siege, which, you can say, oh, that's peasant hours. When you consider how many games I'm playing a year, to have 4,000 hours in total in Siege is pretty good. So, we've taken a little mini hiatus from Siege at the start of the year. Got back into it. And then it was kind of like we haven't played the new season. I've played the new season a little bit, but Caitlin hasn't, and I don't know about Jack. But yeah, I think in terms of competitive tactical shooters and FPS games, it doesn't get any better than Siege. I know this new Battle Royale Finals game is kind of taking everyone's hype at the moment, but there will never be another game like Siege for a long time. And I think even Siege are starting to struggle with what to do because they're running out of ideas. They don't know what to do. We're adding characters in now that can freeze things. It's just like, I don't like the futuristic way it's gone. I liked the gritty, grounded none of this space age shit into the game. You know, you had operators like Sledge with a big hammer, and Ash with a grenade launcher, and now you've got Iana, who's got a clone of herself, and an operator who can stick a big smoke trap on a wall. And it's a bit strange, but you know, I mean, even with 5,000 hours in the game, even in a 1v3, my heart still starts beating really fast. So that's pretty good, I'd say. And yeah, I love Siege, and I will forever cherish all the videos. It's probably the one game I have the most videos on is Siege. Doom, the 2016 Doom, for me was just meh. I don't know what it was. I tried really getting into it. I tried Doom 3. I couldn't get into it. Yeah, it was quite satisfying to victory punch a demon's head off and then whip out your chainsaw and chop another one up and then whip out your shotgun and blast another one. You know, but it was just, yeah, it's not for me. I didn't like it, and I really wanted to play Eternal because a lot of people rate Eternal really highly, but if it plays anything like this, then I'm not interested, to be honest with you. And that's kind of all I got to say about that. I didn't understand what was going on in the story. Visuals and graphics, it looks amazing, you know, considering it run on the PS4, it looks incredible, but yeah, I couldn't do it. And again, you know, it's like, it is what it is. I don't think Doom is a bad game. I couldn't get into it, and that's okay. Mario Kart 8 is awesome. I don't play my Switch enough. I need to play my Switch more because there's a lot of Switch games that I think I could play. The problem with the Switch for me, you know, like I have games like The Witcher on it, right? Why would I play The Witcher on Switch when I've got it on PS5? That's the problem. So I think I need to go to CEX or Game and just look at some of the games that look slightly interesting and just get them and try them, because other than Mario Kart, Switch Sports, and Pokemon, you know, a lot of my games are games that I can get on any other platform, and it's like, why would I play on the Switch when the Switch is a really low-powered console in comparison? But Mario Kart, it's always going to be a game that is going to be fun no matter what you're doing, where you are in life, you know, it's a good game, it's a good party game, it's annoying. Nothing pisses me off more than getting blue shelled after having a 10-second gap. But yeah, it looks amazing. It runs pretty good. That's all I can kind of say about Mario Kart. It's just an awesome game. Outer Worlds, meh. I really want to like Outer Worlds, and unfortunately, with the Starfield coming out, I just don't think Outer Worlds is worth playing anymore. And I really tried. I played Outer Worlds 3 times, 3 separate characters, 3 different times in the year, and I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. There's just something about Outer Worlds that I just can't get into, and I don't know what it is, because Outer Worlds is a game that it should be for me. I don't know if it's the guns, I don't know if it's the combat, I don't know if it's the story. I like how you can have 2 followers, you can have all this stuff. I like the guns. I don't like the armor system, and that's something I'll talk about later with another game. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I couldn't get into Outworlds, and I tried. You know, I played it on the main channel, I think, or I don't know if maybe it was the gameplay channel, I don't know. But I played it, and then I wanted to play it on the second channel, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Wolfenstein 2. This is the game I was talking about. I don't have the original Wolfenstein on it for some reason. Unless I'm blind, which I don't think I am. I don't. So, I put Wolfenstein 1 in meh, because it's just that. Wolfenstein 2, though, was alright. I quite enjoyed that. Trying to remember. I think that's the one where you get your head chopped off. But yeah, I think Wolfenstein 2 is an alright game. I'd say it's worth playing once, but other than that, I wouldn't play it again, I don't think. I think it's very much a one and done game for me. But, you know, graphics, visuals, gunplay, all feels great, and it's like the alternative history approach to World War kind of stuff, where you got this steampunky German Nazi kind of world, and yeah, I kind of like that. I think it. I know, I don't really know how it would work, but I would quite like to see more games do a separate approach to things other than just America win everything. Because Call of Duty's, it's the same shit every time. Good guys win, bad guy kills off good guy friend, good guy gets upset, good guy goes after bad guy dies. Well, the good guys win. That's COD summed up in. And each to their own. Like I said, we're doing Call of Duty campaign playthrough, so it should be interesting. But I think more games should do this. I would quite like to play a game as a German, just as a German winning, just to see how games would do it. Like Wolfenstein's cool, but you don't get to see all the good stuff. I mean by good stuff is like you don't get to see how they won, what they did. You don't get to see any of that. It's just you spawn in and it's kind of there. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good game, and I'm gonna put Old Bloods down in meh because I wasn't a big fan of that. I'll be honest. It was all right, but it wasn't anything special. And yeah, like I said, it was definitely a one playthrough and done kind of thing. I wouldn't say you're missing anything if you didn't play it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So now we're on to Halo. So I'll just do all the Halos at once. I don't know why these are all mixed up, I'll be honest. Any more Halos? No. Okay, so let's go in order then. So we've got Combat Evolved. For me, it's alright. Listen, I loved Combat Evolved. I love Halo. There isn't a bad Halo, I don't think. I'm going to put Halo in awesome, actually. I'm going to put Halo in awesome. Because I played this to death on the original OG Xbox when I was a kid. Me and Jack split screened the campaign about 50 times. We used to pretend to have little wars in Blood Gulch with 4-player split screen. We used to play the campaign on Legendary and see who could live the longest. There's just so much things we did, and obviously it was the start of one of my favourite series franchises of all time, so can't really say anything bad about it. However, I don't think it holds up as well as some of the other Halos, and there are some that I think are way better than the original Halo. But there's no denying what Halo's done for gaming, and if you're playing it on the Master Chief Collection, it looks incredible. I mean, that's what we played it on for the playthrough. And yeah, that's all I kind of got to say about that. Good game. Definitely worth playing if you haven't. Yeah. Halo 2, for me, is just alright. There's something about Halo 2, I just don't think it's as good as the original Halo, and I don't understand the hype around it. But, Halo you could swap games around indefinitely. Like I said, there isn't a bad Halo, but Halo 2 for me, I just couldn't get into it. And for me, I would kind of beat it, and that's it. I play Halo 2 anytime soon. Unless I was doing a full series playthrough again, which I might do, I don't know. But, that's that. And the same with Halo 3. I think Halo 3 is alright. I'm not including multiplayer because that's completely different. But just based on the campaign alone, I don't think Halo 3 is that good. I don't understand the hype. I don't understand I don't even know what the word is. I'm just going to say hype because I don't know what the word is. But I don't think it was that good. I like the co-op, I like the Arbiter. Obviously, he was introduced in Halo 2, but you get to see a bit more of him in Halo 3, I think. And, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just serviceable. There's a lot of things I do like, though, like a lot of the fights, like the big Scarab fight. Big fan of that. I like that a lot. Where you're all on mongooses with rocket launchers. That was fun. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that. ODST is awesome. I can't stick ODST in God tier because I don't think it is. I think Halo ODST is good for what it is, but it's too short. Um, this is what I was saying earlier about Master Chief, right? I love Master Chief, but I like the games that do a little bit different. I'd like to see an ODST 2. I'd like to see a game based on the Marines. I'd like to see a game based on another Spartan. You know, there's too much Master Chief. I want more. I want more Halo in different places. You know, I'd like to see a different spot. I mean, like I like Jerome from Halo Wars, right? He was pretty cool. And you were obviously playing as a rookie and the ODSTs and stuff like that. But let's have another squad of ODSTs in another game, please. But yeah, I think ODST 2 sets a really kind of depressing tone in this little town. You've got this jazz playing in the background. You're very, very lonely. And I obviously played it single player. But it kind of runs on the same engine as Halo 3, I think, because it's basically the same kind of game. But you know, I don't really have any issues with ODST other than that it's too short, in my opinion. Halo 4, Halo 4, Halo 4. Is it all right or is it awesome? Oh, I think it's all right. This is when, so obviously Reach was the last Halo game Bungie made, and then 343 took it over, and then they made this. What they did to Cortana was just like, yeah, I don't even know where to start with that. Just completely ruined her character, and yeah, I don't really know where else to go with that, to be honest with you. But you know, visually, you know, added some cool things in. I do like the SAW LMG is pretty cool, and you know, some of the guns are quite cool. I like the Marines. This is a game that adds some Spartans in, although they're basically just tankier Marines. They're not really very good. But yeah, that's kind of all I've really got to say about Halo 4. It's just alright, nothing special. Halo 5 is another game that's alright. I think Halo 5 gets shit on too much. For the story mainly. And you know what, I can get behind the story bit because it is a bit meh. And the fact that you have to read like 15 books and 10,000 novels to understand what's going on. Yes, I agree, it's shite. And that's another thing actually I would like to mention about Infinite just quick, is that from Halo 5 to Infinite, it's like one of the biggest jumps in the world, and it makes no sense. Like, there's 7 other Spartans in Halo 5, and I think Infinite, I think some of them are mentioned in logs, and that's it. Where are they? Why is Chief on this ring on his own? And you know, when you start building the FOBs back up, why don't any other big characters come down? Where's Lasky? You know, Palmer, Blue Team, Locke's team. Where is everybody? You know, nobody knows. So again, it's all in logs and stuff like that. But if you don't listen to the logs, like I don't, I shouldn't have to be listening to logs to know what's going on. You know, I just don't think it makes any sense. But Guardians, I think, plays and looks really cool. I like the co-op-y aspect of it. I think it makes a lot more sense in terms of, you know, if you're playing in co-op, you have your other team. Whereas in Halo, all the other Halos, you just played as another Master Chief. Which, you know, I understand it you know, story-wise, they can't just add 15 Spartans in. I get it. But, you know, I like what they did with that. And, like, I like the squad-based stuff. And you can give your Spartans weapons to hold for you or use. And, yeah, it is pretty good. But I wouldn't say it was a game you had to rush back to play. I would play 5 over 2 and 3 though, and 4. Just personally, but you know, that is what it is. Halo Reach, God tier. It's God tier. Halo Reach is probably my favourite Halo game. I love it. I love Reach so much. I love Reach more than I love the other Halos. I think Reach is just fantastic. I can't wait to play it again. I've probably beaten Reach about 15 times in my life. I want to play it again. I need to play the 360 version for the achievements. Just love it. It's so good. I don't like how it feels very rushed to me. I don't know, it was Bungie's last one. They probably were working off of the 360, so they probably didn't have the power they needed. But I would have liked a bit more time with Noble Team before they start dying off one by one. And I think some of the deaths are a bit shit. Like Cat's death and George's death don't make any sense to me at all. Carter again doesn't make any sense, you know. All of them, to be fair. Noble 6. Why does he die the way he does? You know, spoilers, but whatever. Blah blah blah. But I really liked Halo, and I liked the firefight mode, and I love the memories I have on Reach because I spent hours and hours and hours in Forge World making maps and making little machinimas with 3 controller split screens. I would turn infinite ammo on and infinite magazine and just have one guy give cover and fire for 15 hours, you know. And we did that. And I made bases and I made racetracks. Oh, I did so much. So yeah, best Halo. It's refreshment time. Halo Wars, another one I'll put in front of Halo Wars 2 because it is just alright for me. Halo Wars 1 and 2 basically play the same. I just think Halo Wars 2 does it a little bit better. But I like Spartan Jerome. I like Sergeant Forge. I like Captain... Is it Captain Cutter? I didn't ask you. Alright, is your name Captain Cutter? I don't think so. Why she's talking. But yeah, this RTS, it's stuff like that. I like the skirmish modes. But that's kind of all I've got to say. I kind of put these two basically together as the same thing. I would play them again, but not anytime soon. Battlefield 2042. I'd put that in alright. That's another game I need to play again. I need to get back into because I actually quite enjoy the multiplayer. I don't like the specialist system. I've said it time and time again in the Battlefield videos. You know, there isn't really much else to be said. I don't like the system, but it's probably baked so far into the game that there's no way they could take it back out. They did add classes in, but it's not the same. But there's a new DLC or a new season out, and I need to go in and try it and give it a go because I do quite enjoy Battlefield, the engine, the way it feels, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Obviously, it doesn't have a campaign and doesn't have any other modes. Skyrim, God tier. You can't argue against it. People are still modding this game. I mean, when did Skyrim? I think it was 2011. Was it 11 or was it 8? I think it was 11. Yeah, 11th of November. 11/11. 11/11/11. Jesus. Someone's timed that on purpose, isn't they? Yeah, you can't put it anywhere else. It's such a good game. Like I said, people still mod it. They have just added more DLC into the game, like Creation Club stuff, which is testament, really. You know, make a Skyrim 2. Why are you still adding stuff into Skyrim? It's pretty silly. But you'll always find something new to do. You know, I still, even though I've platinum Skyrim twice now, you still find stuff to do. You still find people to talk to. You still find random encounters you've not seen before. It's a god tier game. That's all I'm going to say about that. Max Payne. Max Payne is meh for me. I can't. I wanted to play Max Payne in order, but I can't get into this one. So I think I'm just going to skip this and go straight to Max Payne 3 because, yeah, like I said, I just can't. I can't get into it. I really tried. I wanted to, but you know, the problem is when a franchise has a lot of newer games, you know, like Max Payne. It has Max Payne 3, obviously. You go and play the originals, and they don't feel very good. And, you know, there's a lot of things I don't like in this one. Like the healing system's pretty abysmal. You know, you've got painkillers that heal about 3 inches of your health, and that's it. And there's no ADS, and there's no sprint, and there's no markers, so you don't really know where you're going. It's just, yeah, it's you can tell it's old. So they are planning on remastering it. So maybe I'll play the remaster, and we'll see what goes from there. Alright, Resident Evil 4 is alright, and I'm going to put Separate Ways in there as well because they're both the same game. Resident Evil 4, visually and feel-wise, amazing. I think Resident Evil 4 graphically looks incredible, really smooth, plays well. You know, not really got many complaints about that, other than kind of the map layout. It never really tells you where to go. And a lot of the story gaps that are left in separate ways fills in. So, you know, it is good in that way. And, you know, Ada Wong's a pretty cool character. Same with Leon. Leon's a really cool character as well. I love both of these characters. But something about them, I couldn't really get superly invested into it. And then you get later on into the game, and then you start running into like the regen enemies that they're not fun to play against. There's something about regenning bosses that don't die and invincible enemies that just piss me off. But they're fun games. They're definitely worth playing at least once. But they don't have a New Game Plus, so you know. I mean, they might do now. I'm not sure. But when I wanted to do a New Game Plus playthrough on my gameplay channel, there wasn't the option. So all of that stuff and all that money I've invested into my characters and my weapons. You know, I maxed out one of the pistols. I maxed out the MP5. I maxed out the knife. Can't use it. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm actually going to do Resident Evil 3 just in here as well, just to put them in order. I think Resident Evil 3 was alright. I tried playing Resi 2, the remake. Couldn't get into it. I couldn't. I tried. I stuck with it for about 3 hours. I couldn't do it. I got so bored. I don't know if it's the design or the engine or whatever they decided to do, but I can literally shoot a zombie in the head 50 times with a pistol, and he doesn't die. He just gets back up, and it's like that's not how that works. I've just shot it in the head. And then obviously you have the invincible enemies, like the bosses that you can't kill. And this one, it's that Nemesis guy who doesn't die ever. He gets blown up and shot and drowned and burnt, and he just keeps going. And it's like, Jesus Christ, that's a bit ridiculous. But I think Resident Evil 3 is a bit more actiony than what do you call it? More actiony than Resident 2, and I think that's what I like more. So I enjoyed it. I wouldn't play it again. I played it once. It's worth playing once, but that's kind of that. Dead Space 2, God tier. Oh, I love Dead Space 2. I've beaten Dead Space 2 4 times now. Obviously, I did the game on this channel. I did a New Game Plus playthrough on the Gameplay channel. I did an Xbox 360 playthrough on this channel. I've done a playthrough on my ROG Ally, and I'm currently like 70% of the way through Dead Space 3 on the ROG Ally. Yeah, I need to New Game Plus it on this channel. I need to New Game Plus Dead Space 3 on this channel. I need to play through both the DLCs, which I'll be doing this weekend. They're not very long, but they are DLCs. Like I was saying about the remake, Dead Space 2 went a bit more actiony, but it did it so well. And, you know, it added characters like Ellie in. Ellie is an amazing character. The bad guy is awful. Like, you have no idea why he wants to kill you. And yeah, that's kind of all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to keep saying the same points over and over and over again. And some of the enemies can be quite annoying. Like, I really don't like the leapers, or lepers, however you pronounce them. They really get on my tits. And a lot of the enemies that are like green, they're like really thick green, just not fun to play against. You can shoot them 50 times and they just keep going forward. But story-wise, gameplay-wise, not customization, build-wise with the power nodes, and yeah, it's a really good game. 100% God tier. We'll be playing it again about 4 times. Modern Warfare 2, putting that in all right. I had some fun with the multiplayer, but again, the multiplayer for Call of Duty for me is kind of over. Skill-based matchmaking has really ruined COD for me. And you know, I've heard the arguments, just get good then. It's got nothing to do with being good or bad. You know, I'm pretty decent at Call of Duty. I've played COD since I was about 11 years old, so it's not a skill issue at all. I know how COD works. You know, I know how to play. I used to play in tournaments on the 360 on Black Ops 2. Not 360, sorry, PS3. I used to do Nuketown 1v1s. I've done it all. I've done DSR 1v1s. I've done tower defense. You know, I've done the custom game modes. I am pretty decent at COD, right? That's not an opinion based thing. That's not like me being ego. That's just, you know, I am pretty good at COD. You know, I've played it forever, so I should be. Um, you know, I used to play Search and Destroy on Black Ops 3 all the time. You know, I had classes based on it. I used to just go in and play. You know, I mean, my win loss on Black Ops 3 is ridiculous. You know, never played ranked really. You know, it just kind of pop stomped. So when people say, "Well, just get good," then you're only moaning because you want to beat shit players. It's not nothing to do with beating shit players or beating players that are on the same level as me. If I go 50-3 in a hard point or a control the flag or whatever, the next game I'm going to be playing against like diamond level players. Now, if I really wanted to sit there crouch spamming and drop shotting and fucking lean spamming and whatever, same with Siege, I'll play ranked. I don't need to play casual for that. It's quick match. It's multiplayer. I cannot play the multiplayer on this with Caitlin and my mum because my KD and my win-loss and my skill, I put skill in quotation marks, is better than them two. You know, I've played Call of Duty a lot longer than Caitlin's mum has. So, same with Caitlin. And if we want to play the multiplayer together, they'll just have a really bad, miserable time because they're just not on the same level. So I can't play this now with my friends. So I'm forced to play it on my own. Basically playing ranked. Sweating my arse off. For what? You know. And that's the reason I'm not buying Modern Warfare 3. And I'm going to get into a whole rant about Modern Warfare 3 in a bit. But yeah, skill based. You can royally fucking do one. And you know, I won't play another multiplayer game until skill based is gone because it's not fun, it's not enjoyable, it doesn't help the game. You know, it's not. If you're bad at a game but you like it, you'll get better at it. That's how it works. You know, you have to put time in to get better. And if your whole argument about not putting skill based in to save some of the casual players, it's not how that works because casual players still get punished for the same thing. So it's not saving anything, is it? It's not doing anything. So, rant over. Call of Duty is going down the drain. Modern Warfare 3 can fucking kiss my nuts. I'm not buying it. £70 for a DLC is a joke. Modern Warfare 3's campaign is abysmal. The zombies is an absolute fucking travesty. I don't know what Treyarch have done with that. And anybody at COD, to be fair, I don't understand why they keep putting Outbreak into zombies when no one on the planet has asked for it. Who has asked for Outbreak zombies? Warzone zombies. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to drop in and kill 3 zombies and then move to a different zone. Did you not learn your lesson from Vanguard? Obviously not. So you deserve everything you're getting at the moment. You deserve all the roasting. You know, listen to the players. We're playing the game. We know what we want. That's what I'm going to say about that. The campaign was alright. That's what I'm going to say. Galaxy of Heroes. So I play this on the gameplay channel. But I'm bored of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes now. It's just the game is not fun to play for anyone that doesn't have $100,000 to spend in it. And, you know, that's the problem with most mobile games, to be fair. But, you know, I mean, it's going to be... Wow, £10 off. Thanks. Jesus, this is going to be a long one. Yeah, it's not fun anymore. I like doing the Galactic War stuff because I like having my team kind of fight through various teams to get to the end, but I'm at the point now where I don't even gain anything for doing it. You know, I get tokens for characters that I don't need or I won't use. You have to use different characters in different teams. You have to build characters. You don't want to do a galaxy like quest thing, like a journey thing, to unlock characters that you probably wouldn't use, that you need to use to unlock other characters that you want to use. And it's just not fun anymore. The arena sucks. It's just not fun, and I don't like it, and I don't even watch it anymore. You know, I used to watch a lot of the end game stuff and the like the Galactic War stuff, or what's it? Not Conquest. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's not fun, and I'm pretty close to uninstalling it. To be fair, I really got back into it when they added the Bad Batch characters in, because I love clone troopers, and they haven't added a clone trooper in since Bad Batch, and I'm so unbelievably bored with it that yeah, I don't want to play anymore. Payday 3, another game that's meh for me. I don't know if it's just because it's so early in the game's life that it's kind of maybe a bit too early to be getting into it. But another game that I couldn't get into, not like Payday 2, where you have so many different things you can unlock and customize and build and stuff like that. But now if you want an attachment, you have to use the weapon and get it to level 20. And it's like the shotgun is so fucking bad. It's so awful. It's got a range of about 2 foot. So, you know, you have to be able to literally hear your enemy breathing to get a kill. And to unlock the attachment that gives you more range, it's like level 17 or something like that. So, not fun. There's no builds. There's no, like skill trees. Not many weapons. Not many heists. Don't get anything at the end other than money that you can't spend on what you really want. It's just not the best, to be honest with you. I liked Payday 2 a lot, even if it was janky and clunky. But yeah, Payday 3, I can't get into it at the minute. Maybe I'll change my mind when a few things have come out and there's been some hot fixes and stuff like that. But as of now, can't get into it. Raid Shadow Legends is god tier for me. It's my favourite mobile game at the moment. You know, I mean, you've seen the videos on this channel. You know, and like I said on another asset, I've just done arena raids. If I go down, I don't know if I have my other channel linked in the videos for this. I don't think so. I do. If I go onto videos, look, raid. I love raid. And if I go to my channel, you know, I've just opened some shards. I don't know where it's going to be. It's probably going to be a bit further down. I did not long do another shard opening video. It's another shard opening video. Account updates. So, you know, I play Raid a lot. I love Raid. I've spent a bit of money in Raid, but, you know, Raid is a game I don't mind spending money in because I enjoy it. And, you know, you can say what you want about pay-to-win games and blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's a mobile game. It's going to be pay-to-win. But if you play it just to have fun with it, you'll have a lot more fun. Like, I play it on 5 different accounts for fun. You know, I don't need fancy, flashy characters to be number 1 in the world because I know it's never going to happen. So what's the point? And yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that. You know, I really like farming. I've just been able to do all the dungeons on level 20. Really pretty decent timings. You know, I've built loads of characters. I wanted to start doing character guides. I just haven't got around to it yet. You know, there's loads and loads I want to do. Fallout 4, another game for me that's god tier. I love Fallout 4 to death. Platinumed it on the PS4. I think they're on about releasing like a next gen version for it, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I mean the story's a bit meh, it's questionable, but I really like the settlement systems, I like the builds, I like the weapons and the armors. If Fallout 76 played the same way Fallout 4 did, I'd like it a lot more. You know, I hate how I can kill an enemy wearing a full set of combat armor and then he drops a leather chest piece. It's like, well, that's just not how that works at all, is it? But, you know, I like it, and I will put it there, and that's all I have to say on that. I need a wee quick. Right. Not long left to go now. We have Redfall. That's going straight there. It's annoying, really, because Redfall should be a game that I love to death, right? Redfall's got everything I like. It's got different characters with like lootable areas and farming and, you know, tiers of weapons like legendaries and epics and blah blah blah. It's everything that I should love in a game, yet it's such a bad game. It's so awful. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I know they've patched some things in and they've done some things, but there are some things that just aren't worth the hassle, and Redfall is one of them. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Battlefront 2 is another game that was meh. I think, you know, I played the campaign on the second channel, enjoyed it. I played the multiplayer a little bit. It's alright, it's nothing special. If you want to base a game purely on just graphics alone, I think Battlefront would be god tier, right? Battlefront graphically looks insane. It really does. It looks incredible. The story mode was a bit meh. You know, it kind of added in some things that could have been good, but never really kind of went any further than that. You know, like this little secret like death squad. You know, these stormtroopers that are like the best. You think, oh, that could be awesome, that could be incredible, that could be amazing. My voice breaks again. I'm going to rip my throat box out. And they kind of just don't really do anything with them. And then, you know, it's just, yeah, it was just meh. That's all I'm going to say on that. There is another DLC, like a different, I don't know if it's a DLC campaign or whatever I've got, but I don't really know if I want to bother, to be honest. I might do, we'll see. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Superbike 22, never playing again. One of the worst racing games I've ever played in my life for bikes. I did a review on it, it was that bad. Graphically it looked good, but gameplay wise it sucks. All the fun out of bike racing, it's just not pleasant. The bikes don't break. There's only one class. You know, it's not like MotoGP. I know MotoGP is getting very samey with the same historic modes, but at least it's got them in there. Superbike had the one class and that was it. So what about Super Sport? What about, you know, the Super Sport 300s? The R3 Cups? You don't get any of that. And yeah, like I said, if you're really interested in my review, it's on my second channel. I can't remember what I called it. It's under reviews somewhere. Oh, if I rank these on popular. There you go. Superbike 22 is so disappointing. So if you'd like to see that, then that's there. I think I only did one video on it. Switch bar. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that, because it pisses me off talking about it. That's all I'm going to say. Black Ops 2 is awesome. I'm going to put that there. Overrated in my opinion, but understandable. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think it's nowhere near as I mean, it was groundbreaking for the time, right? But obviously, if we compare it to stuff nowadays, it's not even close. But Black Ops 2 does have some of my favourite zombie maps of all time. And like I said, I've got some of my fondest memories on multiplayer, beating people in 1v1 Nuketowns. And we did tower defense on Nuketown, where you sit in opposite ends of the building with snipers and you got to kill each other. And yeah, I did Buried and Mob of the Dead, two of my favourite maps of all time. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm looking forward to playing the campaign. Like I said, I'm doing a Call of Duty campaign playthrough, so I'll do Black Ops 4 as well, just whilst we're here. That is another awesome game. I want to put it in God tier to irritate people. It's really tempting. but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be good because I feel like people get in their feels too easily nowadays. But yeah, it is awesome. I think the zombies is great. I think the multiplayer was okay. Admittedly, I got into the multiplayer as it was kind of dying off, and was it Cold War that came out after that? Was it Modern Warfare 2019? I think it was 2019, wasn't it? Because then Cold War came out afterwards. So yeah, 2019 came out, and everyone kind of went over to that. But yeah, I mean, it does a lot of things badly. You know, I won't argue against that, but it doesn't. It's not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. And yeah, I really enjoy that. Callisto Protocol, I want to put that again in God tier just to annoy people, but I'm not going to because I don't think it is. But it is an awesome game. It's not bad at all. Yeah, it's another game that does some things badly. The story is a bit shit. Some of the characters are a bit shit, like the boss guy who's meant to be the super intimidating, scary guy. He's not. He's not scary. He's not intimidating. He's not nearly as threatening as he wants to be. But I like Jacob as a character, even if he does some questionable things. I like the enemy variety, even though it's very samey. I like the enemies. I like the armor. I like the weapons. Don't like the melee combat that much. But again, so everyone was big on Dead Space, obviously, for a good reason. Not necessarily the remake. I can't remember which one came out first. I think Callisto came out and then the remake came out afterwards. But everyone said, "Oh, it's going to be a Dead Space sequel. It's going to be a spiritual successor. It's going to be everything that Dead Space wants to be." And blah 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 blah. And guess what? It came out and it wasn't, because you see the title. It says the Callisto Protocol, not Dead Space. So it's not going to be the same. So when you get upset because it's not Dead Space, well, yeah, because it's not called Dead Space. It's not going to be the same. That's not how that works. You know, so, again, I think people just give this game hate for next to no reason. There are genuine points to be made, but, again, you make it out to be 10 times worse than it actually is. It's not. The story's a bit shit. That's the only downside you could put against it. And the enemies are very samey, and the ending was atrocious. Like, it was one of the worst endings I've ever played in my life, and the DLC for that is even worse. So, yeah, you know, that is what it is. I've said what I needed to say about that DLC, and that's all I'm going to say on that. If you haven't played it, it's worth playing. I'm definitely going to play it again at some point. 100%. Warface. I am never playing Warface again. So remember earlier when I was talking about free-to-play being done right and done wrong? Warface is how you don't do free-to-play and how you do pay-to-play. Because, I mean, admittedly, I've spent some money on Warface because I did enjoy playing it when I played it with Jack. You know, we made some videos on it. It was fun. But I reckon if I went back to it now, there'd be about 10 guns that are better than the ones I've got. Because that's what they do. They just add guns in for, you know, loot boxes, and that's kind of how they do it. They add these loot boxes in with this weapon. You've got X amount of chance to get it. Oh, you did get it, but you can only use it for 3 hours because you didn't get the fully unlocked version. You know, it's just, yeah, it's awful. And to be fair to the game, it doesn't play very well either. You know, it's one of the clunkiest things I've ever played in my life, and yet it's got a one-shot headshot in, and it's just not fun. So I probably would play it again. I would be considered doing it again if Jack asked me to, but I highly doubt that I'll be playing it anytime soon. Warframe, God tier. I fucking love Warframe to death. I really do. Warframe's one of my favourite games of all time. One thing I realised last night, I was looking through the Steam sales, buying some of the games that I'll be playing through. And I had some of these really weird searches turned off, like explicit content and mature content. It was all turned off for some reason, so I didn't get to see it. And Warframe's on Steam, so I'm very tempted to download it and give that one a go. But yeah, I mean, I love Warframe so much. Warframe is the game that got me the subscriber count, most of the subscriber count I got now. Playing Warframe is what got me to 1,000 subscribers with the build videos. I streamed this game quite often back when I could stream. Yeah, I adore Warframe. I love it to death. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I 100% understand where players come from. It's not fun to play if you're brand new. And I think Warframe really needs to do a lot with their beginning stuff. I mean, it's probably way too late now. I wonder when this game came out. When did this game come out? Because I didn't play it at the very beginning. Warframe release date. That's not what I asked. 2013. Wow. So that's when Warframe came out first. So yeah, you know, it's been out for 10 years. And you know, there is a lot of variety. Admittedly, the builds for weapons have definitely gone down a bit. You know, they need to do more with their balancing, I think. But it's fun. It's a good grindy game. It's a good game where you can shut your brain off, chuck a big long video on in the background, and just play and enjoy. I like the warframes. I like the customization. I like the weapons. I like the design. I like the ships. I like the horde mode related missions and stuff like that. It's really, really good. I love Warframe. I'd say try it if you've got a friend that knows what he's doing, because otherwise you're going to have a miserable time. Right, 2 more games. 13, the remake. I'm going to put it in alright. I haven't finished it yet. I really tried to play this game when they brought it out, and it was a buggy, glitchy, crashy mess, and it was atrocious. But they fixed it now, and I've started playing it. I just haven't got around to finishing it yet. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those cel-shaded comic kind of games, and it looks really nice. And yeah, I remember playing that on the PS2. I think I've got it on the PS2 somewhere. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about it at the moment. Playing it, I enjoy it. I got a steelbook for it that looks incredible, and yeah, it should be a good time. And the last game on the list is Starfield. Where's he going to put Starfield, do you think? We're currently playing through it. I've done a lot of time with this. I spent most of the time where we weren't out in Spain on holiday for my first time playing Starfield on the Rogue Ally. And I did that on the flight over there. I think it's awesome. I don't think it's God tier. There's a lot of things I don't like about Starfield. But there's a lot of things I do like about Starfield. So I'm not going to get into every single thing. I think Starfield looks really nice. And I'm playing it on the Series X. So considering it runs, it says at 30 FPS, it doesn't feel it unless you're in a town. So I don't know if they've updated that or whatnot. I don't know, but I like it. I like some of the followers. You know, Sarah Morgan is one of my favourite NPC followers of all time. She's definitely up there. I like Andreja. I like Marika. I like the weapons. Some of the weapons in that game are awesome. Like the Kodama. I love that weapon so much. And what's it called? The shotgun that we've been using. I can't remember what it's called. And there's loads. But there's a lot of things I don't like about it. Like, I don't like how the shipbuilding stuff works. You're not told anything. It just kind of chucks it in and says, there you go, have fun, make a ship. So you don't know what works with what part. It's just not the best. Hopefully they'll fix that in time, but I doubt it. I don't like the armor system. You know, I understand that you need a spaceship in spacesuit in space, but let me have an armor system on underneath. You know, let me find different base suits and let me make my own. You know, I don't just want to find one thing and be done with it, because you know it's boring. It's not fun. So that I'm not a fan of. The settlement building stuff is awful. I don't know how they've downgraded their settlement stuff. You know, let me start a little colony on a planet and make a big town and a big bustling settlement. I don't want to make a tiny little pod with a little desk in it and be done with it. I can't. You know, I want to be able to start growing plants and stuff. You know, I want to go off and find what plants can grow on the planet I'm building my base on, and then, you know, learn how to plant them and stuff like that. And not being able to take everything off my spaceship and leave it at my settlement. You know, everything has to be stuck on your spaceship and you have to deal with it. I don't like that either. So yeah, there's a lot of things I'm not a fan of, but you know, I'm playing Starfield for what it is, and it is a pretty awesome game. I'm looking forward to playing a bit more of that tonight. I've still got some parts to edit, actually. So, yeah, there's a lot to do. Right, there is my list of games. Probably going to trigger some people, but like I said at the beginning, if you get triggered by stuff like this, then you need to grow up, because it's an opinion at the end of the day, and if you don't like it, go and live on the moon. So yeah, I'm probably going to do one of these every year now. I'm pretty happy with my list. I think, like I said, we haven't really been doing too bad on the never playing again games, to be honest with you. And all right and awesome. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy with that. Oh, I went down the wrong hole. Oh, that's not fun. Oh, it's slowly dying in the background. But yeah, there's my list. Leave a comment down below. What games were in your God tier this year? I'd like to know. Or make your own. Make your own, and I don't know. Send me a message on Instagram or something. Let me know. I do have links to all my social medias in the description box down below. If you'd like to join Discord, I'll screenshot this and I'll. If you want to put links to yours, or maybe make your tier list. If you have tier lists that you want to see me make, let me know down below. I quite enjoy doing these because I can talk quite a bit if I'm not choking on Lucozade. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, like I said, links to all my social medias in the description box down below. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hope you have enjoyed. Pretty long one, and yeah, it has been your boy, and I'll see you all in the next one.